Welcome back. You're watching Monday Special, and tonight we're asking, can a couple rebuild their trust if one of them has cheated? Now, our guests tonight in studio, we have Jennifer Karina. She's an author and a relationship coach who'll take us through these issues because she's dealt with them very often, couples coming to her with various concerns in their relationships. Then we have Natalie Florence, aka Naughty Flo. She's an artist and she's one of our case studies tonight. And then we have Tony Ndungo. They've been together for a few years. Tony is a writer and a case study as well. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. Before we get into the discussion, let's see what some of you have had to say on social media about this particular issue. On Twitter, Ocheng Philip is saying, I think lack of communication among couples is an attributor of infidelity. And then Mark Darkaso says, infidelity is caused by partners who don't have trust and real love. One or two on Instagram at Majauke says, isn't trust like a mirror? You may put back the pieces, but you'll still see the cracks. But Vicky Mutuku says, it's possible with the power of love and forgiveness. Let's get straight into it and start with you, Natalie. You were together. He was unfaithful. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, we started dating in 2012. And Yari was on and off, and it was a bit rocky, mostly now that I'm an artist, and he wasn't really trusting me. I mean, he was a bit suspicious because most of the time I'm not around. I'm hanging out with guys, maybe my directors, my producers, and yeah, so he cheated. And
how did you find out?
I found out from his messages, and also, actually, I don't usually do that, but I don't know what got into me.
Yeah.
And also, I got them red-handed.
You caught them in the act?
In the act.
Wow. How did you react?
Very bad. I was very angry, very angry, actually. We broke up right away. Yeah. But, yeah, later we had to sit down and, you know, get to talk things, and here we are.
Okay. What happened, Tony? How did it begin? Was it an affair or was it a one-off thing with this other lady?
Okay, no, Natalie Florence is an artist. She's an artist. No, I felt very insecure about her because every time she was hanging around directors, she was out during the late hours of the night, hanging out with people. Then I asked her, can I accompany you? She's like, okay, I don't want you to come with me because now I can only be with my director. So I was pretty much insecure about it.
Is that why? So you became insecure. Did you then become suspicious that she was cheating on you?
Yeah, I felt she was cheating on me because now she was really open with me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think at some point, I think guys are predisposed to cheating at some point in their lives.
Guys are predisposed to cheating as every man?
Yeah, every man must cheat in his life. Wow. At some point of his life, he must cheat. If he doesn't cheat today, tomorrow he will cheat sometime in the future.
Are you going to, do you fear that you will cheat again? You'll cheat on Natalie again?
No, okay, I did it once, I'm not going to do it again. I think it's a genetic thing. You do it once, then you don't do it again. That's all.
Are you concerned that he might slip up again?
Right now, I trust him because we talked about it. Yeah. And as I said, he cheated once. And okay, we talked about it, about my career, about his career, about what he wants, about what I want. And I think right now we understand each other better. So I'm hoping, hoping that he doesn't do it again.
Yeah. This is where I'll bring you in, Mrs. Karina. I'm sure this is not the first time you've heard this. Yes. You've talked to very many couples. And so tell us a little bit about what you've noticed in this particular scenario.
Well, what I noticed in this scenario is that two young people were dating. I'm actually wondering whether they had a structured relationship and whether that relationship was intended for marriage and where they were at. And a young man that was insecure based on her career, and because of that, he didn't see a future. And because he didn't see a future, he needed to find somebody else. Unfortunately, it could have been for pleasure, or it could have been for long term, and he got caught.
All right.
And so it's like, you know, it's something that you do once, and now he's satisfied, so he's not going to cheat again for the rest of his life.
Okay. Are you yes. Are you saying suspicion? I know you mentioned suspicion is a big reason why people are unfaithful in relationships.
Well, people come together in a relationship and the glue and the foundation of every relationship is trust. And so when there is no trust, there is suspicion. It simply means that you're not able to walk in oneness. It simply means that everybody is insecure, and when you are insecure, then you have a defense mechanism.
Okay.
And how do you relate with that defense? By maybe ensuring that I better find myself somebody in case she's going to take off.
Okay.
And so just assuring yourself.
What are some of the other reasons, main reasons why? And it's a very broad topic. Infidelity, it's a broad topic. We're just sort of scratching the surface. But as an expert, what are some of the main reasons why people cheat, men and women?
Yeah. First and foremost, when you come into a relationship, the assumption is that nobody is going to cheat. Or really, the reality and the ideal is that partners ought to be faithful. But there's one thing, we are made of flesh and blood. And so temptation is a part of our life. It's not who is going to be tempted. I hear him when he says that somebody is going to cheat at some point in their life. The truth of the matter is that each one of us is vulnerable. And temptation is a part of the journey of life. The thing is, how are you disciplined? When you feel that you're looking at this other girl or this other man, you can admire. There's nothing wrong with admiring. In fact, if you can't admire somebody else, something is wrong with you. The problem is how far you take it and what actions you do.
So it's natural throughout life. As we get older, even our 50s and 60s, we will still find other people attractive. We'll still have crushes, but it's about whether, even in marriage, right? But it's about whether or not you'll
It is knowing and acknowledging that I have made a decision to walk the journey of life with my partner, and I have made a commitment. So you can choose not to engage in that relationship. But it's not just about choice, because we are weak in the flesh. It's about making sure that you don't fall into the trap.
Okay.
In today's age, there is a lot of affairs, particularly in the workplace. Why? Because you spend a lot of time with these people. Boundaries are violated. And so you become intimate. You start doing things together. And eventually an affair comes. An affair doesn't just happen. It comes from the closest people that are around you. So it's just about being aware and taking some steps to avoid.
We'll come to solutions a bit later, and I want to get back to Tony and Natalie in just a moment. But he's just said that every man at some point in his life will cheat. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first and foremost, let me say it's all about who you are. It's about your values. It's about your beliefs. And it's about your morals. Now, every man will be tempted. Every woman will be tempted. It's a question of how's your fiber? Can you resist the temptation? Because he was not able to resist the temptation, he's in the know that every man will fall. I can tell you there are many men that are upright, but many have also fallen. And so it's not that every man, it's not a blanket. It is a question of how strong are you, how committed are you to the relationship, how are your intimacy levels with your partner, and you know, at the end of the day, it's also about the price that you will pay to lose that partner. When you think that when you do get caught, you will lose everything in that relationship, then you'll give it a second thought.
You'll give it a second thought.
Yes.
Tony, if you hadn't gotten caught that day, do you think you would have carried on that relationship?
Yeah, technically I would have.
You would have?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you'd have still been insecure about what she's doing.
Yeah, I would have been insecure.
Yeah. And Natalie, did you ever blame yourself and think there must be something wrong with me? It must be me, and this is why he's cheated. Did you blame yourself?
I actually did.
Okay.
I did, and that's why I had to, you know, you have to talk about it. You just can't blow up and say, okay, he cheated, now we're done. You'll end up doing the same thing continuously with the other guy and the other guy. So I had to talk to him, and ask, what happened and what do you want me to do? Maybe should I change or anything? So and he told me. And
was it that she wasn't good enough as a woman, or is it strictly on the insecurity? Was there something else that drove you to be with someone else?
I think that's where we go back to the genetic part.
You're just convinced that this is something that men will do.
Yeah, it's genetic.
No, it's
like
not.
every man must cheat at some point of his life.
And if a man stands up and says, I've never cheated, then he's a liar.
He's a liar. Yeah, technically, he's a liar.
Do you think men should cheat?
Well, I think once it's admissible enough, I think.
Oh my God.
Well, let me say that.
I was holding it together too.
yes.
Sorry, yeah.
You know, one of the things that happens is that when you have found the love of your life, and every relationship goes through some cycles. And the romantic stage and just the good feeling part it takes a certain period of time. Now, 2 years later, they are no longer electrified by each other. And so some boredom could come in, and a roving eye is here because I need some excitement, I need some fun, I need an adventure, and all those things. There's something that is called a bad boy. If you're a bad boy and you've got that in your genetic, and actually it can be, it's a genealogy, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your father, everybody will cheat. It's actually, there's history of genetics that these people are people that will always cheat. There's environmental. When it is about environmental, it's about the environment that you are in and what passes to be the right thing or the wrong thing. At the end of the day, you can be in an environment where actually cheating is the right thing to do. And that's one of our greatest challenges, because if you're not cheating, you're not cool.
Yeah.
You know, you are supposed to have your side, clan day. You don't have one, then something is significantly wrong with you. And so that is why it's a macho thing, and it's trendy for a man to cheat. But, you know, the thing is, it's no longer just a man. The girls have become the best at the game. So who is the winner and who is the loser at the end of the day?
And how come women are more, because first of all, I'll ask him a question. I don't know how he'll answer. If Natalie had an affair, would you have forgiven her and taken her back?
She had an affair, all right.
You did have an affair.
I did.
Oh.
Because
tell us
it
about
was
that.
a revenge. I mean, like, kind of, I felt, wow, he did it. Maybe I should do it too. And then let's see how he feels about it as well. Yeah.
Okay. I'll come and ask you about that. But was it, so you caught him, you didn't break up with him immediately, but you then went and had an affair, and then you guys broke up. Is that what happened?
We actually broke up a bit, and it wasn't like, you know, we still loved each other. And yeah, later on, I just wanted to have the revenge. So I did it deliberately so he can find us and feel the same thing I did. Okay.
And you forgave her. You understood where she was coming from?
Yes.
You did?
Tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
Yeah. Pretty normal.
Well,
that's
a good place to be, tit for tat.
It's a good place to be?
It's a good place to be.
Why?
For the moment.
Okay.
Because it fulfills a need that is within you.
Yeah.
When you've gone through infidelity, you go through a lot of bottled emotions. You are in shock first and foremost. I mean, can he really do that? Can she really do that? Beyond the shock, you are in denial. No, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Then you recognize it actually happened. So you become very angry, you become very resentful, and you want to do something. You want to afflict the level of pain that you're feeling to that person. And so the best thing is find yourself the greatest lover and get caught, because you need for them to feel the pain.
Yeah.
But it's the most dangerous thing that you can do, because people normally believe that if I'm caught and he's jealous, he comes back for me. You could lose the person for life.
Yeah, it's a risk. It's a gamble.
It's a gamble. But even if you do not lose this person, you lose trust. Doesn't matter what they say to me. Their trust levels are not on the optimum.
But you're working on it.
They are working on it.
Okay.
And it's a good thing. They are working on it.
Yeah.
But once you've been caught, it takes years to erase this picture out of your mind and to know that it doesn't matter where we are at, they will never cheat on me.
Yeah.
And so that's a real big one. So you must never do that again in terms of a revenge, because it has a way of coming back. Every time you fight, you'll remind one another, you did this, you did that, and you did the other.
Does that happen when you fight now? Do you ever throw in, well, you're the one who did this to me. Does that come up in your arguments?
Well, we don't really fight nowadays.
You don't? So it's
almost perfect right now.
Oh, really?
Because we understand each other more now, because he knows I did it because he did it, and I know he did it because I wasn't doing the right thing. So, so right now it's a bit better. Yeah.
It's a bit better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I wanted to also ask you, what can an affected couple do to overcome feelings of anger, rejection, jealousy? What can a couple in that position do?
Well, the fact of the matter is that they are going to go through these feelings. And the most important thing is to be aware of these feelings. Awareness is the heartbeat of therapy. The fact that I'm feeling this way doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with me. It's important to feel this so that you can go towards healing. It's also important not to be in denial for so long and to be able to deal with that. Communication is key. But one of the biggest mistakes that we make is wanting to hear the story over and over again, because the denial element keeps coming. Tell me, why did you do it? Tell me, how was it? Did you enjoy it better with them? What is it about me that... And then you also blame yourself. And sometimes you're stripped of your self-esteem. Why? Because the fact that somebody looked for somebody else means that I'm not good enough and there's something that is wanting. And that's never the case. You must understand that it is not about what you are not. It's just about somebody being adventurous. So at the end of the day, when you recognize that it's not about you, because when you blame yourself, you get into anger. The anger can be internal anger, where you actually cause yourself harm. You can cause yourself harm by doing things that can hurt you, or you can cause harm by actually hurting that partner. And beyond that partner, actually going to hurt the third party, who is the lover, which should not be the case. When you recognize that you need to work on yourself, two things need to happen. One, you need to be honest with yourself about how important is this relationship to you. Are you willing to work on it? Sometimes you actually need therapy to be able to walk this journey, because it's not something you want to go telling everybody about what you're going through. You need a confidential environment to share and to be able to work towards healing. And finally, you will heal. And I want to say that infidelity is one thing that is a challenge where relationships are concerned. But there is hope and there is healing. They are already in their romantic stage again. We don't fight anymore. You saw that. And they don't fight anymore. And it's only for a while. Why? Because they are reassuring one another and covenanting once again that, I love you so much. And because of the little guilt that's pushing them and the fear of losing one another, they are able to have this bond.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll come back just now. I'd also like to hear more about whether your friends and family knew about it and how they felt when you got back together. Keep sending us your thoughts and messages, 22422 on SMS, or the hashtag Monday Special KE on Twitter. We're back after this break. Welcome back to Monday Special. Before we talk a little bit more with the panel, let's see what some of you have to say on Twitter. Later on, we'll also sample some of your text messages. Okay, on Twitter, let's see if we can bring that up. We have at Wandera saying, infidelity in relationships today has a lot to do with incompatibility, okay, marrying the wrong person, so not really having much in common with them. At Maverick Nyambu says, frustration, lack of satisfaction, mistrust, temptation, and vulnerability also lead to infidelity. And at _Coco_Pop, men are not genetically predisposed to cheat. Statistics show that the cheating game exists both in some men and some women, which is what we'll get into in just a few moments. At Laszlo Felix says, apart from temptation, commitment, and insecurity, people are getting to relationships for pleasure, forgetting the responsibilities. And at Angel Pompey says, men who cheat haven't fallen out of love. They've just become unsatisfied with the current state of it. Wow, it's quite profound. Right. So, like she said, there was a tweet there from, I think she says she's Coco Pop, who says it's also with women. So why do women cheat? We already heard from Natalie, even though they were on a break, hers was the tit for tat.
Yes.
But more and more, what are you seeing as an expert why women are cheating?
Well, first and foremost, let me say, Janet, that why people cheat is really because they want a need met. They have a need that needs to be met. Why do women cheat? As she has said, I was revenging. And so after being hurt, you also go out of your way to revenge. Beyond that, women really desire to be loved. They want affection, they want affirmation, they want appreciation. They really look up to their men to give them. And sometimes it doesn't come. When it doesn't come, the person who acknowledges them and notices them and tells them how beautiful they are, they fall for them because they are fulfilling a need. And beyond that, there's also the bad girl. Really, she's just a bad girl, and she's not satisfied by one man, and she's adventurous, and she has to be able to do this. They also cheat for money because, yes, I'm in a relationship, but I need this other person because my need is also money that I'm not able to get from this relationship. So there are so many because it's always about a need
not being met.
What
are the different types? I know we're running out of time, so we need to move this along. But in terms of the most common types of infidelity, you mentioned emotional, and you say did you say that's the most satisfying or the most dangerous?
Or both? Both.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. In the physical infidelity, yes, it is there. But beyond the physical, there's the emotional. And you could be living with a spouse for the rest of your life, but you're really not with them because their heart went. Their emotional infidelity is big time. Why? Because they have connected with somebody else who they may never have a physical relationship with, but they are totally committed to that relationship. And the justification is, but we do nothing. We just spend time together, enjoy their company, but really, love is beyond the physical. It's also about connecting emotionally with this person. Beyond even the physical and the emotional, there is, how much time do you spend with your partner? And objective infidelity is a big one. You spend a lot of time at work, you spend a lot of time in the gym, you spend a lot of time, me time, personal, and you don't have time with your partner. That is also a big one because the girl will be withering. Why? Because she's needing your attention. Or the man will be complaining, my wife is too busy to spend any time with me.
Then there's financial infidelity.
There's financial infidelity, and that is bigger than any other infidelity. Why? Actually, divorce is over 70% of divorce is as a result of the money. Money and not agreeing on money and cheating where money is concerned.
Let me ask you, is it possible to be in love with more than one person at the same time?
Well, depends on the definition of love, but in my definition, it is possible to be in love with 5 people at the same time.
She's saying no.
I don't agree with that. I mean, how is it even possible? Tony, do you agree?
I agree. It's possible to be in love with 10 people at the same time.
I'm so heartbroken. It's not even
you all need
possible.
a session with her after this show.
I mean, maybe for the men, and that's so heartbreaking. But
really,
for a woman,
how is it possible, Tony? How is it possible to love, to be deeply in love with more than one person at the same time?
It's not.
I think it all boils down to main chick, you have side chick, you have, I don't know, side pieces.
But you're not in love with them.
You love them.
Are you really in love with them?
Yeah.
Or are they just there to satisfy a need?
You love them.
Oh, no.
All of them.
It's about
It happens.
it's about your definition and your feeling. And one of the things is that we just said that it's about fulfilling a need. And one of the needs that, for example, is an emotional need. You need to be fulfilled emotionally, and there is this person that really you connect with, and there is another one who you connect with intellectually, they stimulate you. I mean, you just love being in their company because they stimulate you intellectually. So you get into liking them, and eventually you're falling in love with them, and you're wondering, okay, what's missing out here? That doesn't mean you're not in love with your partner. You still love your spouse or your partner, whoever it is. So it's the levels. Everybody has their space.
Yeah.
It's the levels.
Doesn't it mean you're a little bit all over the place? Like, how do you rein yourself back in to decide, I just need to love and be loved by one person?
Now, that is about being dysfunctional. That is, you are dysfunctional because you are not drawing you know, all your affection and your need from your partner. And because you don't have it, let's say, like in terms of the physical, there are people that categorically say that they are not fulfilled and satisfied by their spouses or their partners. So they are very happy because they are connected emotionally, financially, but they will find somebody else to provide for them in the physical. And they are quite happy with that kind of an arrangement, but they always fall apart at the end of it because of different loyalties, or you're caught and it is over.
Yeah. Is it possible for a couple going through that, what you've mentioned? Because I think that one is, I wouldn't say it's common, but you hear that often, where emotionally and intellectually we connect, but physically it's just not there.
Yes.
Can a couple like that regroup and get back to just being faithful to one another?
Of course they can regroup, addressing their issues. Because the thing about any love relationship is the level of communication. Let's not sweep things under the carpet. Let's be open with one another. What is your need and how can I meet your need? What is it that I need to do and how can I be able to do it? Where do you want me to adjust so that I can make you happier? Once you've discussed these matters, then you are on the healing path. But the thing is, you instead of talking about what you want, you choose to go find what you want elsewhere. So how can you be supported? Everything comes to an end. And when you now try to find these things, that you will be caught. If you're not caught, there's one thing that brings a problem. It's called guilt. Guilt is an emotion. And because you know that you are doing the wrong thing, you start suffering guilt, and it actually affects the relationship. I have met very many people who, as a result of the cheating, they are unable to arise to the occasion because they are really scared about the guilt and what they have done. And so at the end of the day, the relationship really gets dented. So it's not a go. It doesn't work. It works for a while, but the repercussions are too high. Also, let me mention that I have met enough young people, young ladies as beautiful as her, that decide to revenge or decide to have this, and they find themselves pregnant.
No.
And now that takes it to another level.
Yeah.
And really, at the end of the day,
that's really bad.
It's really bad. Then we cannot also forget, we live in an era where there are certain diseases that are things that we ought to know that we are not going to be a part of as a process. So when we engage in all these things, what are we saying to ourselves? It simply means you have totally disrespected. This body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and it ought to be treated with a lot of respect. And that's my personal view.
Oh, that's your personal view?
Yes.
Did you both, when you were having your affair, was it someone you knew well or someone that you knew casually?
For me, it was someone casual.
Someone casual.
In campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? Was the person who you did revenge with someone you'd known for a long time, or was it also just someone you knew?
Nah, in most cases, it's not someone you really know. It's just someone you just meet and decides that let me do it, and it's done.
Knew him.
You think you know him?
I knew him.
Oh, you knew him?
I was always told he's just a friend. On occasional time, I was told, okay, he's just a friend of mine. He supports my career. He supports my music. Yeah.
Did you confront him?
Yeah, I did.
What happened?
We just fought.
Physically?
Yeah.
You've just beat each other up, and
it felt so good, them fighting for me.
It felt good, them fighting for you.
Yeah, I felt like a queen, you know.
Yes.
That's what I wanted. I wanted them to fight. I wanted him back to me. So that was all the plan about.
You wanted to feel like he is so determined to win you back that he's willing to fight for you.
Yeah, I was like, I want to see whether he loves me. And I realized, oh, so you did.
Okay. Right.
The fighting is something that I want to comment on. It's never about the third party. Because your partner allowed the third party in. And so as much as we can avoid it, it is prudent to leave the third party out of this. And it doesn't matter how much you fight, others will even go as far as killing the third party. The thing is this relationship going to work? Are we committed enough to you know, get back together and do the right thing? But why fight? It's because of the bottled anger and that reaction that is now the outward anger. You know, inward anger, there are many that commit suicide. They leave a note that because this happened, I have actually decided to take my life.
Okay. Why do you love her? What is it about Natalie that you love?
I think as a person, she's really interesting. She's nice. She knows how to cook. She knows how to dress well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why do you love him?
Personally, he's so caring, he's so loving, of course, and he supports my career, of which it's very important to me. I mean, it's not easy to get a guy who supports your career, mostly as an artist. So. Yeah, he really understands nowadays when I go out, maybe for a show or anything. So I stick to him.
Do you guys see yourselves being life partners? Have you talked about it?
Sure, why not? We haven't literally talked about it, but
it's just you'll cross that bridge when you get there.
When I get to it.
But she has the qualities you're looking for in a life partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
She's like, I just needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking that because I really wanted to understand where they're at in terms of whether they really appreciate and love each other. Mrs. Karina, for someone who's watching this, especially a woman, and we've probably touched on it a little bit, but someone who's jaded and constantly thinking, I'm going to fall in love with a man who will cheat anyway.
Yes.
What would you want to say for someone, because there's a lot of women who, it's the age-old question, why do men cheat? And you've talked through some of the issues. What would you want to say to someone like that right now?
Well, what I would want to say is that, you know, we attract that which we put in our mind. He's going to cheat, he's going to cheat, he's going to cheat, because that's what you are actually attracting. And out of that, even that is what you confess. Even you tell him, where were you? I know you are cheating, and it's not the case. And a lot of men say they actually cheated because it is expected of them, and they are told by their spouses all the time that they had cheated. What I would say is that it's important to set your boundaries. It's important to meet your partner's needs. It's important to understand what their needs are in every way. And most importantly, to fill in your love tanks, because at the end of the day, it's because you are depleted in your love tanks because of you know, the conflict maybe that you have had or the busy lifestyle that you have had. Whatever you do, you need to have some recreational intimacy.
Let me get back. Let me hold that thought because you have to take another break. We'll get back to the love tanks. I think that's very interesting.
All right.
And then we'll get our winding comments. And then after that, Hussein will join me as we read some of your feedback. We'll be back in just a few moments. There's something else that you were talking about during the break that I'd like to ask you about very quickly, but tell us more about the love tanks.
Okay. Every relationship does get depleted of love with time, because you may not be feeling this person, but it doesn't mean that you are not in love with them. And to be able to fill in your love tank, you need to work on a couple of things. And one of the things you need to do is spend time together. So recreational intimacy is very, very important so that you can be able to just grow in this love relationship. Have a date night. Do something together that makes you excited, and find a common ground. Many couples sometimes just live on without doing anything together. Have a common ground and find the purpose for which you came in together, even in the first place. What excited you about being with this person? And just even sometimes talk about it and find something that's going to keep you going. Now, love tanks are depleted because of conflict. And if you have unresolved conflict, it's really going to injure the relationship. Resolve your conflict. Regardless of how difficult they are, it is important. Have an open communication. Communicate all the time about how you're feeling and what your needs are. It is absolutely very important. Finally, be committed to the relationship, because we are very good at having plan B. If it doesn't work, I am doing this, I'm going there. As long as you're committed, you know, the thing about this is that, yes, infidelity will come. When it comes, it's about the attitude that you're going to adapt. And the attitude is not that the marriage is over or the relationship is over. It's a question of understand, is this habitual? Is this a one-off? Is this somebody that I can be able to work through this? And so you need to talk through it. You need to get support from an expert if necessary. And beyond that, you need to plan and structure the way forward.
Okay, we're totally out of time. There's a very quick question I want to ask you before I hear from Natalie and Tony. You were saying during the break that towards a wedding, a lot of couples break up because of the stag night. Men cheat, the wife, the fiance calls it off. But you're saying she shouldn't call it off.
Well, first and foremost, this is a peer pressure thing that needs to go out of the window. But however, your fiance has gone through the peer pressure and he's in the stag's night and has taken this woman home, and bang on, the wedding is cancelled and the relationship is over. Everyone deserves a second chance. I'll tell you what, sometimes we do things that out of pressure or without thinking too much of it. But that person could actually be a very good person. So what I recommend is that don't throw it away, just give it a little more time. Date for another 1 year and get support, someone to walk the journey with, hold one another accountable, and go through, you know, the hog of the emotions and restructure your relationship. It's not the end of it. It can work.
I have so many questions that I want to ask you, but we're really out of time. Natalie, your closing comments. First of all, what did your friends say? Did your friends or family know about the issues you were going through, and how did they react to it? When
Sure, my closest friends, of course. My mother, she knows about this, but I definitely wouldn't have taught her because she's kind of strict. She'd be like, no, if this guy did this, just leave him alone. So, yeah, I got some advice as well from
other people,
and they told me to give him a second chance.
What do you want to say to other women who find themselves in your position? You either catch your man in the act or you find out he's cheating. I know it's very personal, so everyone will take it differently. So, but what would you want to say to them?
Well, my personal idea is just give it time. Just don't explode, because you'll keep on doing the same thing and the same thing and the same cycle over and over again. Because, as I said, men cheat once in a time. I mean, once in a lifetime. So just give it time. I mean, talk about it. So you get to know why he did it and how you can solve it.
And try and figure it out. Tony, what about you? What are your closing comments on this?
What I would tell my fellow men is cheating once is good.
No, Tony.
Okay, cheat once. Okay, listen. Cheat once.
No.
Don't keep it bottled. Just cheat once, and then your curiosity will be gone. Then you'll be good to go.
Okay, I don't usually disagree with my panelists, but I totally disagree with you on that one. But all the same, thank you for your thoughts.
I guess it killed his curiosity.
It killed his curiosity, so he's
but
like...
curiosity
killed the cat. There you go. So, well, thank you all, the three of you. Thank you for being so open. I wish you two the very best. I hope that you'll be able to build your trust and get past what you've been through. Thank you so much, Mrs. Karina, as usual.
My joy.
Hussein will join me in just a few moments. Let's take a look at what some of you are saying on social media, on an SMS. Relationships are first commitment before feelings that makes both people make conscious choices. Okay, hope I've read that properly. Joy Jomarian says, infidelity all starts when the couple lacks a new flame in their relationships, and so they start searching for interest elsewhere.
At B. Ochieng, cheating needs to be redefined. Sometimes one is only adventuring but still loves his or her partner so much.
At Honorable Ngogi says, cheating is a fault likely to recur later if not well solved.
At Liz Lancho, once you love, it's hard to cheat, and especially if your partner loves and respects you.
Okay, do we have any more? At Kamon Boro 1 says, the solution to infidelity is faithfulness. It's all about values and integrity of purpose. It's possible not to be unfaithful.
And at Miss Kungu, cheating is like licking sugar. It's sweet and inviting, and only self-discipline can keep you away from it.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's if licking sugar is a bad thing.
I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about a lot of things.
I don't know what to say about a lot of things either. Okay,
but I'll
SMS.
just read a few SMSs. One is more of a question which I find interesting. Mwangi from Gilgil says, I'm courting and dating a lady in readiness to marry her as a second wife. Is that infidelity?
Wow. If the first wife doesn't know about it, I'm guessing it is. Is that infidelity, Mrs. Karina?
Just as you said.
Yeah.
But you know, you can have polygamy is acceptable.
Okay.
So
it's only if
as
she doesn't
long
know.
as his first wife knows about it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, here's one that one of my guests won't like tonight. Mutindi from Narok says, the guy said cheating is a must for all men. He's so wrong, he's trying to justify and cushion himself and sounds unremorseful. But I'm sure they've worked their problems out. He's likely to cheat again. It's a choice any man who loves and respects his woman can walk away from. Okay, but I'm sure they worked their things out, like Janet said.
Yes.
Somebody says, hi Janet, I highly concur with that guy. All men are cheats. A friend of mine cheated on his wife immediately after their church wedding with me. And Meshach says, life is more about love but not infidelity. We don't cheat because we don't love, especially us men are weak, but how I hope I never cheated on the love of my life.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I refuse to be jaded.
It's
It's a bit traumatic. It really is. But all the same, I really thank them for being open. It's an issue that a lot of people are going through. So just to be able to talk about it has been great. Well, thank you so much for watching Monday Special. I'm Janet Mbogwa. Have a good night.
Good night, I'm Hussein.